You're watching Let's Chat.
Songbirds Guitar Museum is the world's largest private collection of rare vintage guitars. They had their grand opening celebration this weekend. Chip and I recently got a special inside look at the museum, and we got to visit with the ambassador of the museum, Vince Gill. Take a look. The planning for this amazing addition to the scenic city started years ago. Johnny Smith, the president of the museum, told me how it first began.
It was just a conversation that started with some friends and some guys that had the idea of maybe, some anonymous folks about putting their collections together and letting us put them on display for people to come see. And, I just started kind of pursuing the idea, and the next thing you know, 4 years later, here we are.
Recently, Vince Gill was chosen to be the ambassador for the museum.
Just right up my alley. I love these old things and try to pick up a few of them myself here and there, and love playing them and love what they represent. They kind of tell our history. They tell our history musically, artistically, all kinds of ways. And this was an easy one, I got some good friends down here in Chattanooga, so good chance to come visit some pals.
His passion grew for music when at age 10 he received his very own guitar.
It was a Gibson ES 335. They got a few of those on the wall here too.
Nice first guitar.
Yeah, it was a great first guitar. You know what? It's interesting because I think that when you're a kid, oftentimes it's hard for a parent to make the sacrifice financially of a nice instrument to get a kid to get inspired to play. But if you buy a kid an instrument that's poorly built, poorly made, and is very hard to play, it's not inspiring to play. And a lot of kids are quick to just say, I don't like this, it's too hard. And so I was really fortunate.
When writing his songs, Gill says there is not one particular guitar that he uses.
The neat thing about instruments is it's going to sound silly, but they'll make you play them the way they'd like to be played. And every guitar feels different in your hands, every guitar sounds different. And something different, I think, will come out no matter what guitar you pick up. And it could be an electric guitar, it'll make you play it a totally different way and play different things. And so, no, there's not a steadfast rule of this is the guitar that writes all the songs. I spread it around.
He recently used his gift of music to honor a fallen police officer in Nashville. It was a touching performance, and the song he sang, Go Rest High Upon That Mountain.
Go rest high on that mountain. The sun your work on earth is done.
That song has been not only an amazing gift to me, but to a lot of people. And the fact that something I created to honor my brother has gone on to help people when they struggle their hardest. That's why it has so much impact for me, is when people reach for it when they're struggling so badly. Then that means even more than a hit record or any of that other stuff.
Our next stop was to the Green Room and Vault, which can be toured only during certain times throughout the day.
There's a VIP experience that you can purchase up front as opposed to the general admission. That'll get you access to the vault and the green room, which is right outside the door here. And it's worth it, especially for a real aficionado, because you get to see pieces in here that most people would never get to see in their life.
And guests should allow an additional hour if you choose to experience the all-access tour.
George Fullerton had this guitar presented to him by his employees at Fender as a gift in 1954. It's made out of beautiful flamed ash body, beautiful flame maple neck, with a very interesting sunbursted headstock to match the body. The best thing about this guitar is George's hands were so big that they actually moved the controls over so he would not hit them when he played.
Any guitar that's not in this collection that you hope to bring here, or are you pretty much completed your collection? Are you satisfied?
This is a living, breathing collection, and we're always looking to bring in new guitars. That's something that we strive for, is to find the best of the best.
And just ahead, we'll have more with Vince Gill as Chip gets him to reveal some personal information. Stay with us.